Hello YouTubers, this is part 2, video update of the solar system that we put in. We originally had 610 watts, seeing if we could live off the grid on that, and we were doing fine using one modified refrigerator out of a chest freezer, handling the lights, internet, telephones, laptops, all of that with no problem, power to spare. And the system should be fine doing that even in the solar minimum. We wanted to be able to run an upright refrigerator and a medium-sized chest freezer. So we're doing a test on that now. So we've installed 800 watts of solar. And since you can see last time, the garden has grown up quite a bit. So I'll pause this and I'll walk up there and show you some more. Okay, there's the Renogy solar panels. They're 12-volt panels. And they're doing really well. I get 5.2 amps for most of the day out of each one of them. So 41, 42 amps for about 4 hours of the day, and then I pick up the sun this time of year about 8:30, and it runs to about 5:45 right now, and decreasing all the time. That's plenty to run what we have going if we have a generator day every 5th day. Using a upright refrigerator that's super insulated. We added 1.5-inch tech foam all around it because it has a exposed external coil, so we were able to insulate the whole thing, and that reduced it 200 watt hours a day. So it's 600 watt hours a day, and the mid-sized chest freezer we're running is 880 watt hours a day. And you put those two together with our lighting and internet and TV watching and all of that sort of thing, you end up with having your batteries at the evening of the second day, they're at 90%. So in 5 days they'd be down to 50%, which would constitute a generator day even in the peak summer hours. So we know for sure we'd handle it very easily if I got rid of the chest freezer or the upright refrigerator and went back to the modified chest refrigerator. We've calculated all of this out using a kilowatt meter, and I knew right where we would be. Because of the size of my inverter, it's not possible to do a large load of laundry. So I'll go in the shed here, and we're building drying racks right now up in the shop. 42 of them that are going to go in here, and we'll pull the shades back, and that'll help dry a lot of the vegetables. Okay, that inverter is a trace, and it's a 12-volt trace, and it's 1500 watts. It's got a huge transformer in it. It handles 2500 watts for 30 minutes easily. Don't quote me on that. That's just my experience. I don't know if that's what the manual says. And we switched out the Renogy charge controllers because they were not tracking together even though they were on a common bus. So we put in a Morningstar TriStar TS60 with a meter. And it's functioning really well. Puts out so much more power than 2 Renogys on the same bus. So much power that I had to change the breaker out to a larger breaker. The other thing that you have when you're running 2 different breakers, even though if you run 2 charge controllers on a common bus, but there's 2 different breakers between it and the battery, the internal resistance of the breaker itself is just different enough to keep your charge controllers from tracking the same. If you went to a fuse, that probably wouldn't happen. At any rate, I've explained some of this room to you before. This is where the power goes out to the house and also in from the diesel generator. And this is a shunt type fused disconnect where the solar arrays come in. This is a very inexpensive controller for a wind generator that we're working on. Insulated the batteries. There's 4 L16s, 1.5" tech foam on the inside of that, and it's vented passively. There's no fan. It uses the rising gas from the batteries, which is lighter than air, to exchange the air into the battery box. And I don't have any problems so far with any kind of corrosion, and there's not even a whiff of fumes in this room. And that part's working really well. If I had a choice, I would get a slightly larger inverter so I could do some laundry without having to turn the generator on. I did find a trace, Xantrex trace, pure sine wave, 12 volt, 2000 watt, used in Redding, California for $625. Just not going to happen right now, but you know, the price is coming down on some of this stuff. I'd certainly like to have a pure sine wave. That would help those motors, like the ceiling fan motors, wouldn't be as noisy, and the washing machine would start a whole lot easier. Haven't had a problem at all with any refrigeration. The compressors aren't getting hot, nothing. Just, we've really been blessed. It works really good with this inverter. At any rate, we do have shore power here on the ranch, and at 11 cents a kilowatt hour, it doesn't make sense to ever put in a solar system. But as often as our power is out here, I realized that I could put this system in out of pocket and wean myself off of electricity. Hence our power bill this last month was $17, because we're running more fans. The power bill the previous month was $14. But that was when we had 610 watts. Well, now we have 800 watts, and we're buying 2 more panels. And I think we'll probably pretty much hit the wall at 1,000 watts for a 12-volt system. It's about as big as you can get for a 12-volt system. At any rate, I do believe that power in the rural areas in America is going to be an issue in the future, unless Inhofe can get a bill pushed through the Senate and stop our cap and trade issues that are going to be shutting down 40% of our power here in America. Our coal power plants are going down by the end of 2015 unless we can get a bill through the Senate to stop it. And so, not being able to afford to move anywhere else, the only thing I could do would be try to have a power system up where we could survive here. And also getting away from a power bill, that's really a cool idea. I know my uncle in Northern California, where he pays 36 cents. I could never afford that. If Oregon deregulates and they have to necessarily raise the power bill so that they can make a profit, I wouldn't be able to live here. So we've made a radical lifestyle change. That's a big part of it. Switched everything to propane we could. And right now, in the summertime, we can run the refrigerator and the freezer and all the lighting every 5th day with a generator day, and you just, on that 5th day, you do laundry anyway. I've got a diesel generator that has a Yanmar engine, and it just sips fuel, hardly uses any at all at light to medium loads. At any rate, I hope this helps some of you. Sorry it's taking so long to get this video up. Hopefully I can answer some more questions with the next one. God bless you folks. Have a great day.